Shalom, and thank you for watching this video from Aydat HaDerekh Synagogue. I hope you are liking the content we are bringing you. If you could like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, that will greatly help us. And to further help bring great content to you from our teachers, if you could please consider to donate to Aydat HaDerekh Synagogue. The link is in the description box below. Thank you for watching.
Okay, mandated by Torah, Passover is celebrated by the Jewish people as an annual commemoration of our exodus from Egypt. It's observed for 8 days. One of the main stipulations that we have for Passover is that we are to neither own nor benefit from Chometz during those 8 days. And Chometz is really anything containing grain that has risen, which includes almost all bread, cakes, crackers, pasta, whiskey, and beer. So to all of those, I apologize. And so from the morning preceding Passover until the holiday is ended, we should refrain from eating these or even owning them. And this is why, like Chabad and other organizations have this service where you can actually sell your Chometz. So if you sell your Chometz, and I know it sounds like a loophole, it is, but it isn't. If you have it, you can sell your Chometz for the 8 days, and they'll take care of it. Don't ask me to do it. I'm incapable of doing that because I don't know all the halachos that are involved. So you sell it, and then what you do is you put it away into an area that you just leave alone for all of Passover until you get that email from the Chabad Rebbe that says it's been purchased back for you. And then you can pull it out and you can put it back in your stuff. But until you get that email, you just leave it away. Leave it locked away. But anyway, your entire household should be thoroughly cleaned. Some people like to call it spring cleaning, but spring cleaning really is the first step. And what I like to do is, because it can be kind of daunting, I start in easy spots, like my bedroom where I don't eat. I mean, it's really easy to clean that. So on the first night and the following night in the diaspora, we have a holiday meal called a Seder. So, cutting out all leaven from our diets. As I said, Chometz is any food made from grain and water that has been allowed to ferment and rise. And any food, really, that contains grain or grain derivatives can and often do contain Chometz. So if you want to make it easier on yourself, you can look for the little logo that says kosher for Passover. And you can get that, and then you don't have to worry about the Chometz. The status of eating yeast on Passover can be a little confusing. Because if you think about it, yeast is used in the production of wine, and we drink 4 cups of wine on Passover. And I've also talked to people who will not eat yeast extracts, which is not a leavener, and in some cases is kosher for Passover. From one OU lecture, an interesting ingredient in today's food production is torula yeast. And you're going to see this in a lot of products. Now, the paper makers, and yes, it starts with the paper makers, they had all this pine wood soup, and they couldn't dump it into the sewer because of environmental reasons. So what they found was a type of yeast which loves to eat pine soup, and that is torula yeast. And what's interesting is it actually has a dietary benefit for us. I mean, you can actually eat it. So because it grows off pine wood, there's virtually no kashrus or allergy issues associated with it. The fact that it grows on non-grain products puts its Passover eligibility in question. Some say you can eat it, some say that you can't. So if you're asking me, the best thing I can tell you is it's probably kosher for Pesach, but when it comes down to it, it's a sofek, which is it's in doubt. I don't know the real answer. I've seen where one rabbi says it's okay to eat it. I've seen another where it's not. So when it comes to that, I would say just kind of go with your heart. There's another thing called seor, which is somewhat less known, but it is no less prohibited. It's a type of Chometz. It's used in Marmite and Vegemite. Now, since we're not Australian, we probably don't have to worry about that. But sourdough is also included in that as well. So sourdough, yes, I'm sorry to say, is not kosher for Passover. So Chometz is the antithesis of matzah, and that's what we have for 8 days. The unleavened bread we eat on Passover to recall the haste in which we left Egypt. Matzah is a symbol of the Exodus, the central component of the Seder, and the heart of Hag Matzahs. And the flip side of eating matzah is getting rid of Chometz, which a lot of people will compare Chometz to like egotism or spiritual coarseness, which we're supposed to try to get rid of as well. Now, for those of us who are Ashkenazi, kitnios. And kitnios is a Hebrew word meaning legumes. So during Passover holiday, kitnios takes on a broader meaning to include and forbid grains and seeds such as rice and corn, sunflower seeds, and sesame seeds, in addition to beans, peas, and lentils. The Sephardim do not follow this, so if you're a Sephard, don't worry about it. This is a minhag. So if you are Ashkenazi and you've never followed this, you're not under, from what I can understand, you're not under obligation to keep it, but once you start, then you shouldn't go back on it. So I guess that means I can't tell any corny jokes for the next week. So what's interesting is baking powder and baking soda. Is that forbidden or prohibited? That is correct. It's for the most part, they are permitted, but it all depends on where it comes from or on what product it's used on. If it's used on the 5 grains, it's prohibited.